Hi, what's up, guys? I wanted to talk about something that I learned yesterday. I was watching Alex Becker on YouTube yesterday, and he talked about something that I've come to the conclusion of, and I felt was the truth for a while, and it was like easier said than done. What he said was this. He said, if you're trying to become wealthy, if you want to be rich, if you want to have more time to do the things that you actually want to do, what you need to do is identify the things that are the biggest lever, the things that actually make the money. For example, if you're a big YouTuber and you make lots of money from making videos, but out of your time, you have to allocate resources and time to not just coming up with the ideas, but also recording the video. You need to allocate time to editing the video and then also posting the video on different platforms. And all of that takes time and energy. And a lot of it you're probably not the best at, but over time you realize that, okay, you're pretty good at this and you start making money off the thing, but you're doing all of this yourself. You only have a certain amount of hours in the day, right? But if you can increase the amount of hours that you can put into doing the thing that's actually making you the money, which is the videos themselves, and back of that, coming up with ideas and recording yourself, that's really what's gonna allow you to make more money. And the way you do that is cut off all the fluff, not cut it off completely, but find someone else to do that work, pay them an extra $100 or $200. Meanwhile, you're making an extra 1,000 because now you've increased the amount of hours that you put into doing the thing that is actually making you money, which is coming up with the ideas. And when I was working at the garden center, I was kind of like, it would kind of bug me in the back of my brain because here I was at this part-time job, and I still work at this part-time job, by the way, but I was working at this part-time job and I could only earn a certain amount of money there, based on how many hours I worked. It was a certain amount of hourly rate per hour. And if I, let's say hypothetically that I worked all of the hours that I had there and not at my main job, then there was that's it. Like if you've worked all the hours that are in the day to work, you're capped at a certain amount of money and that's it. Whereas in sales or in something like this, where we're talking about scaling your creativity and putting in more effort into the things that are actually going to make you the most money, and allocating the grunt work, so to speak, to someone else that'll do it for a chunk of change. Meanwhile, you're exponentially making more money based on the thing that's actually making you the most money, which is creating the videos and all the ideas. When I was at work, I would think of this and be like, there's something I'm doing wrong here, and I know what it is, and it's very obvious to me. But it sucked because I would also say to myself, I would also understand at least, this is the best thing that I know how to do right now. Just juggling two jobs. I need to learn how to maximize my time. And in other words, I need to make myself more valuable. I need to figure out what skills I could learn to where I could make what I make in a day here in 2 hours or 1 hour. Because of the value of the work that I'm doing. In sales, for example, you could put in 30 minutes with a customer and make $2,000, especially if you're in car sales or high ticket sales. While in other jobs, it doesn't matter how much effort you put in. If you put extra effort in or if you put less effort in, you're still getting paid the same. I always see these memes of people making on Instagram where they get a new hire and the new hire is working super hard to make an impression. And you're laughing because at the end of the day, you know that by the time Friday hits, by the time you both get your paychecks, it's going to say the same number. If you're someone that wants to be wealthy like I do, you understand that because you have a certain amount of hours in the day, once you've identified what are the key things that actually make you the most money, that actually bring you the most fulfillment and the most progress in your life, you need to optimize for those things. Your effort needs to be towards that. And that's why CEOs, they make just very few decisions, but they're very, very few key decisions in the day, and they get paid the most, yet they work the least hard. It's the people at the bottom that aren't making high level decisions, that are just making moment to moment decisions, that are left with what's left over. Think like a CEO. Think about how to make your decisions work for you in a way that's going to make your future exponentially better, and I think you'll be okay. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.